Hey y'all. So we got some roasted chicken, some green beans, and some mashed potatoes, all made from scratch, coming from the homemade foodie. So I'm gonna go through the steps of what I did to make this for y'all. So first things first, we gotta season the chicken. I did spatchcock the chicken, basically taking out the backbone. I used a green seasoning, which I'll give y'all that recipe later, and then just a basic seasoning of kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper, paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder. So I dry the chicken as much as I can, and that way we can get those seasonings and that green seasoning on there for good flavor. We're gonna rub it in, massage it all in the crevices. Now, this green seasoning does have a few things that you should already have. Fresh parsley, some fresh cilantro, red bell pepper, some garlic, some ginger. Again, I'm going to give y'all that recipe later on. Here's my homemade seasoning I told you about. Basically, kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper, paprika, granulated garlic, and onion powder. And I just mixed everything together and put it evenly on my chicken. Then I'm gonna cut up an onion, any onion you like. I go back and forth between yellow and white. And basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop that up pretty big. And the reason why is because we're roasting this chicken, we don't want those veggies in there too small because they will burn. So I'm gonna just cut this into pretty large chunks. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the lemon. And basically what happens is once that chicken starts to roast, the juices from the chicken will mix in with that lemon juice along with the onions, and it'll create a nice sauce. Bring a spoon over everything. I'll also use it to baste the chicken during the process. So I let mine marinate with that green seasoning and my homemade rub for an hour. You can do more, but I think an hour is sufficient for just a whole chicken. Place it in my dish. This is it before it gets in the oven. So, as I mentioned, I do like to baste with the juices from the chicken. I did add a little bit of chicken broth in the bottom of that pan before I roasted it, so you won't get that much juice just from the chicken alone, but you definitely will if you add a little bit of chicken broth or chicken stock. Then I put it back in and I'll let it continue to cook. So we did see mashed potatoes. I did make some homemade mashed potatoes, russet, baked potatoes, peel them, cut them up, and then you're gonna boil them. I do boil them from cold water because it just cooks through. So basically, you're gonna put the potatoes in there while the water is cold, and then you're gonna let it come to a boil with the water. So we're just going to dice that up all in around about the same size just so that it can cook evenly. And then we're going to pour that in the pot. Again, cold water and boil it to temp. I add fresh garlic in my mashed potatoes and I boil it with the potatoes. I just think that it gives it a really good flavor. So I smashed 2 cloves of garlic and then I'll just pop that right in to my water. So this is going to be the next time that I'm going to baste the chicken again. I do it a few times. You do it as many times as you would like, but it keeps it moist. When you're roasting a chicken, you're baking this at a very high temperature. So basting it does help keep that chicken moist. So we do want a tender but also moist chicken, and basting it will help you with that. So here are my potatoes, they're boiling away. I started some water for those green beans. I do blanch mines. So basically just put them in a little bit of boiling water for a couple of minutes. I'd probably say about 2 minutes. Then I'm going to strain my potatoes so that we can get them mashed. We're going to put those back in the pot. Remember that garlic is still in there. I then add in butter, just regular, and you can use salted or unsalted. I do add in cream as well to help with the consistency. We want those mashed potatoes to be very smooth. So I add in a little bit to start, and then I'll add in some more after I've mashed them. In mashed potatoes, I keep it pretty simple. I just did a little bit of kosher salt, pepper, and I do fortify my garlic flavor by adding in a little bit of garlic powder. You can do that if you like, or you do not have to. But we just keep mashing those away until they come out pretty smooth. Your potato masher really is going to be your biggest tool in this. It can be fine, it can be chunky. Your mashed potatoes are your mashed potatoes. I normally like mine on the fine side. Now, for my green beans, I do add garlic as well. I like fresh garlic, so I did 2 cloves to saute along with those green beans. So once they come out of that boiling water, I basically already have my garlic chopped up. And then I'm going to saute them in a pan so that they're nice and golden. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to that pan. And then I will start to saute those. Here's my chicken out of the oven, looking good. This is the finished product for the chicken itself. So let's saute those green beans. I use avocado oil. You can use olive oil. We'll put those green beans in a hot skillet. And then we're going to go in and add in that garlic that we chopped up. Get those moving around in the pan. And we're using the avocado oil along with a nonstick pan so we don't have to worry about anything. But we just want to keep things moving around. Once we've let those cook for a little bit, I go ahead and add in some kosher salt and some freshly cracked pepper. We want to season every layer so that we have flavor in every layer. Now to finish this off, I do add a little bit of chicken broth. It depends on how much bite you want to your green beans. I normally do like mine's just a little bit cooked more. I do like them crunchy sometimes, but in a sense where I'm going to have this roasted chicken and mashed potatoes, I do want them cooked a little bit more. So I'm going to use some chicken broth to help those cook along. And it's basically just going to steam them a little bit on the back end. So we did boil them for a few minutes or blanch them. We took them out, we saute them, and now we add that chicken broth. And here's our finished product. I added some fresh parsley. Guys, I'm going to get better at this video recording. Y'all just work with me. But here we go. Roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, and some green beans. Y'all try it out. Let me know how you like it. Thank you for your time.